So, the Culling Games arc, one of the most decisive arcs in the story. Spoiler, but I actually do like this arc. Maybe not as much as the other arcs in the story, but I still think it's a solid arc overall. So, I guess in this unscripted video, I'll just talk about the entire arc as a whole, giving my thoughts and stuff, and there'll be timestamps in the video if you want to go to a specific part of the arc. So if you do enjoy what I have to say, just like and subscribe. It does show me that I'm doing a great job of giving you guys the best content I can. Also, manga spoilers. So with all that out of the way, I guess we'll start at the perfect preparation arc that happens before the Culling Games. I really do like the fight in this arc as a continuation to what Shibuya set up. You know, both Yuta and Naoya going after Yuji, but big bro Choso being there to help. Obviously, we do know that Yuta was only pretending to kill Yuji, but I can't imagine reading this weekly. The surprise that came when Yuta killed Yuji. And after reading this fight, I was kinda shocked by how fast Naoya went down against Choso. For being the son of Naobito, I thought he would have lasted at least a little longer. But overall, I do like this fight. So, next, I guess, is the Zen'in Massacre. And I think this is one of the best moments in the story, especially for Maki. She did what Toji couldn't, because Toji was shackled by this whole idea of proving himself to the Zen'in clan, that he was more than just a monkey, that he could stand toe to toe with JUJUTSU sorcerers. It's why he became a sorcerer killer. That idea was what led to his downfall, essentially, as he was so determined to take down the god of the Jujutsu society, all to prove that he was more than just a monkey, which ended in complete failure. Maki at this point decided to say fuck that and just massacre the entire clan that looked down on her and took away her sister. She broke those shackles that previously bounded Toji, and she became more than what Toji could have ever been. She became more than just a Toji 2.0, and not to mention that this is ultimate karma for the Zen'in clan, and what makes this moment one of my personal favorites in the story. So yeah, I guess I'll briefly talk about Yuji's fight with Hakari. I do like this fight as an intro to Hakari's brute force character, and how it continues Yuji's character regression of calling himself a cog, something that started after this fight with Mahito. So in essence, this fight basically gives way to a character that was named all the way from season 1 while furthering Yuji's whole cog mentality arc, which directly leads us to the actual Culling Games arc. Oh, this is a good one. Higuruma's chapter. Now, if I had to list the single best chapters in the story, this chapter is definitely a top 5 contender. Like, this chapter is meant to represent the unfairness of JJK's world. Because we have Higuruma, somebody who wants to help his defendants, much like Yuji but for, law. And we see him take on a case where this young guy is falsely accused for doing a serious crime. Even with all of the evidence that shows that he is innocent, he's still found guilty. Now, that guy is gonna have to spend the rest of his life in prison for a crime he didn't even commit. It's sad because it's true to many cases in our world where people are wrongly convicted for certain crimes, and they spend the rest of their lives in prison for a crime they didn't commit. It just further emphasizes how cruel and unfair the world is, and Higuruma just loses it, fighting against the cruel world in his own cruel way. So that's why I really love this chapter a lot, as it ties to some of the themes in the story, which segues into his fight with Yuji. I do like this fight, mostly for Yuji's trial in Higuruma's domain, where Yuji takes responsibility for Sukuna's actions in Shibuya. Like, Higuruma is shocked because he can't understand why Yuji is taking the blame for someone else's actions. It doesn't make sense in his head. Yuji didn't give over his body to Sukuna, so why is he taking the blame for it? But it makes sense if you understand Yuji's arc up to now, as to why he's taking the blame. He was the one who ate that finger all the way from the start. Like, remember, when Sukuna destroyed Shibuya, Yuji blamed himself for causing that, not Sukuna. So it makes sense why Yuji would take the fall here for Sukuna, which I think is one of the aspects that makes this fight pretty good in my eyes, besides the choreography. So I guess that moves us to the Megumi and Reggie Star fight. Now, when I first read this fight, I thought it was just okay. But after reading it again, I can safely say that I actually do enjoy this fight. Mostly for how it gives us one of the best displays of Megumi's battle IQ coming into play. For every tactic that Reggie had, Megumi always had a retort of sorts, which leads into Megumi getting the jump on Reggie with his divine dogs. So definitely one of the best fights of this arc. At this point, I'm just going over the most important moments in this arc. But next is Yuta's fight against the cockroach. It's whatever. There's nothing more to it besides when Yuta gives the roach the kiss of death, I suppose. So, let's talk about the better fight. Yuta versus Ishigoori and Udo. I think this fight is just good. Might be a hot take, but even after reading this fight again, I think it's just good. I know lots of people think this fight is peak for good reason, but for me personally, I just think it's good. What is a peak fight though is Hakari versus Kashimo. This has got to be one of the most adrenaline fueled fights I have ever seen. It's just two guys fighting and having the time of their lives, and I feel that energy too, and I can't help but not get hype. And not to mention, but the brutality also adds to how good this fight is for me. It's not just a fight, it's a brawl. Probably a top 5 fight for me. So here's a fight that I like as well. Maki and Kamo versus Naoya. Choreography wise, I wouldn't say it's as good as the previous two fights, but what makes this fight very good in my eyes is how it adds the final bow to Maki's character arc, where through the sumo fight, she's able to finally realize her superhuman prowess and what she calls freedom. She can finally be herself, not bound to anything anymore. And now, all that remains is to exterminate the parasite that had been lingering for her entire life. But Maki is finally able to get rid of the parasite and truly be free. This is why I really like this fight, for it affects Maki narratively. I really like it. And I guess we have the second to last fight of this arc, Yuki and Choso versus Kenny. For me personally, it's a good fight, especially since we get to see the true prowess of Choso and Yuki. All in all, it's a good fight, nothing more to say really. And now, we have one of the best moments in this arc. Sukuna taking Megumi's body. It's so unexpected, but in the best way possible, because I don't think anyone expected Sukuna to exploit the binding vow he made with Yuji all the way back in season 1. And not to mention how it concludes Sukuna's whole interest in Megumi that started in season 1, and shows that Sukuna's been planning this since the very beginning. It was only a matter of patience. Still one of the best moments in the arc for me, which I guess leads us to his fight with Yorozu. Narratively, I like this fight for Sukuna as it gives us more insight into his beliefs of love and strength. Go watch my Sukuna video for a more in-depth analysis. Shameless plug, I know. But I think the fight's fine, just fine. Nothing more, nothing less. And we finally reach the conclusion to the Culling Games arc that ends with one of the goats returning back, Gojo Satoru, my man, and gives us one of the best panels in all of anime history, which leads us into Shinjuku, an arc that I will give my thoughts on next time. So overall, I do like this arc. It has a lot of hype moments, great fights, new great characters like Takaba, Higuruma, and more. And I guarantee this arc will only be elevated when the anime comes back with season 3. I can't wait anymore. I need that season 3 of JJK, please. So yeah, I don't have anything else to say. So if you did enjoy my ramblings over the course of this video, give it a like and subscribe. And be sure to tell me what y'all liked and disliked about the arc in the comments. I'm honestly interested. So I guess with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.